Hello, it's Annalisa Christensen here. It's Good Action 41. Yay! Um, on Friday, so this is a delayed one, basically I did some community gardening. I joined in with a group that I met through Nextdoor. I talked to a lady on there who, when I put a shout out for the black boxes to make little gardens for the street, um, she answered, said that she was doing something a little bit similar where she was, and maybe if I helped her, she would help me. So it's been a little bit of a delay since then, but I did go along a few weeks ago and met her. It was absolutely pelting down with rain. They were moving some stuff out of a garden. This lady who had a couple of autistic children and basically no money, and her garden was a bit of a dumping ground. And they've spent a couple of times clearing that up now. Friday yesterday, I went to with two people, the lady who organises it and another man, I think it's her husband. Um, and we went to a lady who had a family. She's got three children and a disabled husband, and she's just had a knee operation, so she couldn't do any gardening herself. Her hedges were way overgrown and coming right into the middle of the garden, and so we, even though it was raining, um, we don't mind the rain, we're British. But even though it was raining, we managed to get a lot done. They two worked together on this really particularly big tree that they were cutting right back, and I basically cut back a hedge at the back of the garden. And it turned out, I mean, what I could see quite easily once I started chopping into the really the overgrowth, which was about 3 feet or something, that I could see that there was a dead wall, like where it had previously been cut and it was growing out from, and all the dead leaves were still on it. Anyway, I cut it back to there, and actually, by the time of it, we were talking about taking the whole thing down, but by the time I got there, um, I could see that it was a straight edge, so I basically trimmed down to that all the way along. I think it must have been about 8 feet in a couple of hours, and to about 10 feet high. I was like, zooming. And basically, it looked like a hedge with a very bad haircut because it was all flat at the bottom, but I couldn't reach the top. So basically, all along the top was all the growth coming out. However, the lady was really pleased. We're going back in 3 weeks. We've got another couple of gardens to rotate through before then. Going back in 3 weeks to finish off and to clear up all the branches that we piled up at the side of the garden. So yeah, it was a good feeling. The family kept coming out and saying, "Oh my God, look at this! Oh, look at this! It's so amazing! We got all this space now!" And they were really excited anyway. And they kept coming out with teas and chocolates and stuff. Unfortunately, I couldn't eat any of the snacks that they offered, but I didn't have time anyway. We had 2 hours before it was dark, and we got a lot done. I was rather pleased to be able to help somebody like that. So it was good work. I mean, the other thing was that the one of the people that I was working with just wanted to chop the whole lot down. I think that would have been a shame because there was an alleyway behind, it would have revealed, it would have stopped their privacy, and it would have just exposed their garden to the alleyway. It was better to chop it back rather than to chop it down. And also, that meant that the birds still have a place to park themselves, and the trees are still doing some good in the world. So, yeah, I think that was a good result. And that's all for now, although I will have to come up with something for yesterday, because yesterday actually, maybe what I did was actually good enough. Yesterday I did a proposal for the UN, how to spread the word of peace and the laws of the United Nations Charter and the oh, hang on, let me get the name exactly right because I don't want to say it wrong. So it was the UN Charter and the Declaration of Principles of International Law. Basically, they're already there. It is actually illegal to to start a war, to carry on a war, to fund a war, to give arms for a war, anything like that. It's actually illegal, no matter what people think. It's been kind of given to us on a plate that we have to go in and defend this country, we have to go in and defend that country. But actually, it turns out that we and America are the biggest instigators of war in the world. If it wasn't for our countries, we would have a lot less. And although one says, "Oh, well, shouldn't we go in and protect the people?" Obviously, that's a really big thing. It should be done peacefully, not by providing arms and stuff like that. There are methods of doing it, which is why you don't see all the other countries of the world at war. We are a quite war-mongering race, and the only way to prevent war is actually to start acting on those laws. So I wrote a proposal. It took all day yesterday. It was a really long thing. I'm going to go through and read it later today before sending it off and before submitting it. But I feel very strongly that even though I'm mixed on the, okay, so how do you then defend somebody? I don't know that. But I do know there are laws, and the governments abuse those laws and sometimes use those laws for their own means to go into a country and interfere in the country when actually by not interfering things would be sorted out better by maybe more diplomatic races or people's groups, peacekeeping groups. There are such things, and it seems like a couple of the countries in the world ignore them. Britain has been in the last 30 years, I think it's been in almost as many wars. I think it's 20 wars or something. We've been continuously at war for the last, I think it's 28 years or something. So basically, I just wrote a proposal that people, should know the laws, because I had no idea of some of them. One might guess them because of moral judgment, but they are international law, and if we're just totally ignoring them, then what's the point of having them? They were designed to create peace. They were designed to create constant and permanent peace. And the problem with continuously going in and gung-ho, we're going to defend this person, we're going to defend this land, we're going to defend whatever, is that it perpetuates this idea that that's okay. And actually there are different ways of dealing with it. I'm not au fait with all the ways of dealing with it, so I couldn't say, and I think it's individual to the situation. But all I say is everybody should know what those laws are. So I created some acronyms for them, for the laws, and reduced them down to 7 main laws. And let's see what happens. I mean, maybe nothing will happen, but worth a try. Anyway, that's my deeds. I think that's the second deed on Friday, and also because I think I also planted those oak trees on Friday as well, and then yesterday. So I shall probably do another video later. I have some more trees to plant, so I could do that. But we'll see. Let you know. Catch you later. Bye for now.